Hello, and thanks for sticking around to part 4 if you're still here. So where I left off, I was living in the town I live in now, looking for a church to stay at, to minister, help with their ministry, and raise hopefully my future family at this point. And we shopped around for quite some time. We tried out some Baptist churches ranging in, degrees of conservatism. We tried a Bible Way Pentecostal church because my husband had was friends with the family that had the church. We tried out Assembly of God because, again, he had a connection with that family, and we met lots of good people, but the denomination thing still bothered me. And so I reached out to the local priest because in my mind I thought, as far as I can tell, according to historical documents, the Catholic Church was the first church. And I didn't understand at that point exactly how that happened, as far as with the priest or the papal authority being given to Peter. I didn't understand that at that point, but I wanted to start learning about the Catholic Church. And I did. It took 3 years of answering my questions, and then I converted on the Feast of St. Augustine. What year was that? I didn't write down the year, but it was actually after, on the Feast of St. Catherine of Siena, which is the patron saint of the local church here. My 2 oldest sons, one was 2 years and 8 months old, and one was 16 months old when they were baptized. And on my road to conversion, my mother and stepfather, my grandmother hadn't yet, but she would eventually join the Catholic Church as well. But my mother and my stepfather actually beat me into the Catholic Church. They made the commitment and the leap before I did. And like I said, my 2 children were members of the church before I was. And that's basically the story with that. My main concerns had to do with, like most Protestants, why they felt differently about Mary, and just that sort of question in the back of your mind if you're doing something wrong, because becoming a Catholic after being a Protestant seems like a sinful thing to do. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing what they told me was so wrong about this. But their reasons for believing in Mary, I believed in Mary, but their reasons for honoring Mary and her being mentioned so much, and the Hail Mary being a prominent prayer, and the fact that saints can pray for us, it all made sense. Everything that they would tell me added up logically and intellectually in my brain, much more than some of the beliefs and discrepancies and kind of contradictions that I had encountered in my years as a Protestant, and basically was left with explanations that really didn't make a lot of sense, that I just sort of had to. That was a struggle for me, that why would I have to basically ignore the fact that this doesn't add up, you know, that it isn't rational, it isn't intellectual. And I really don't have that in the Catholic Church. If I have a question, there's always been an answer, and a really good one, and one that I can get behind heart and soul. And so with Mary and with the rosary, I'll just go ahead and give you my first rosary experience. Maybe this could be a different video. But I was nervous to start praying the rosary because I was afraid it was some sort of undue worship. I'm so sorry to say that. But that is maybe the root of my hesitance on that. So I prayed to the Lord, and I said, if this is something that displeases you, please forgive me for doing this, and please let me know. And I just sat down, I prayed my first rosary, and it was almost just like a different realm opened up where I was just clothed in this, or awash in this feeling of being completely nurtured, being completely mothered. And, you know, I hear that so much in Catholic explanations, that he commissioned John to take care of Mary, and he gave Mary to his disciples, his loved ones, and gave us to her. And, you know, we're in this beautiful communion with Mary as Christians and believers and followers of Christ. And she was a perfect follower of Christ. And what better example to emulate, or to strive to emulate. This is my friend out here. So I'm taking my glasses off because I feel like there's a constant glare. But that is my story, and I'm just going to end it here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. And I really just wanted this channel to be a way for me to communicate with some of the Catholic YouTubers that I have found so helpful and inspiring for myself. If you're the types that you get a chance to watch this, I think that's amazing, and I'm so happy to be a Catholic on this earth with you right now at this point in time. If you're not a Catholic and you've found this somehow, I'd love to answer any questions you might have. And yeah, that's all. Blessings.